All right. South Central Illinois is one of the most polluted sections of this country that I have ever experienced. Starting from Mount Vernon and coming down to this current city that I'm in, Mount something. It's called to Marion. Let's say it goes down to Marion. I'm currently in West Frankfort. This section it started out noticeably for me as being very bad for my health, giving me bad problems in Mount Vernon. But the oiling didn't start until Centralia. So Centralia is north of here. So there it is. Okay, and it was south of Salem. I'm not exactly sure, but this oil industry in Illinois started east of Centralia, and definitely comes down to West Frankfort, where they're putting out. I smell it, right? I could smell the oil, and I think that's affecting me, because not all of these oil pumps are running off of electricity. Okay, this one is, and it's in the city park. All right, and what's strange to me is I thought it was permanently down, but yesterday when I was here, yesterday I also saw some guy drive his truck over here, and now today I'm here and it's on. So this guy is manually turning this on and off. They don't put a sign that says warning, will turn on and off without a warning. Somebody's actually coming out here to turn this on and off. But I went deeper into the woods and across a waterway in the woods. There's a pump like this running off of like diesel fuel. It had a motor running and it was putting out a lot of pollution. I couldn't get very close to it because I couldn't breathe that in, but also it was protected by a waterway. So these pumps aren't always running off of electricity. This is off of the city electricity supply, and the more remote ones, like the one in the woods, is running off of engines. So there's this constant pollution being put out, and I didn't really notice a terrible problem in Centralia, all right, because the winds tend to move in a westerly fashion, not always, but tend to, and so Centralia is west of when I started noticing these types of oil pumps, but when I got down to Mount Vernon, then I started noticing the trucking. The trucking is incredible. They got like 5 truck stops, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of trucks passing through and parking, running their engines all night, parking in areas where there's signs that say no trucks allowed. I was doing a shuffle all over the place around Walmart. I parked at the business across the street from Walmart, a truck parked there, no trucks allowed. I moved to the opposite side of the parking lot. I was moving all over trying to avoid the large amount of just a single truck engine can put out. And we're talking hundreds and hundreds grouped together. But it's not just in Mount Vernon. That's the start of it. That's like a big trucking hub. Coming south, I'm breathing in all this trucking emissions and exhaust and stuff. And when I got down to When I got down to the next city down, Benton, then the Walmart there's an airport. Oh no. Yeah, there's an airport. Yeah, municipal airport in Benton. That's where I got my worst problems overnight. I thought I was dying. I was having serious breathing problems, which I feel like it's when the air is bad, I can't take deep breaths. It's like my body's saying, don't do it, man. Because the air is so bad. And it was bad in Benton too. I was parked at the Walmart 2 nights. The first night, I was smelling exhaust, but I slept okay. But the second night was the worst. The air felt thick. It changed. It went from going one way to switching the other, and that's when it started bringing out my problems. And I woke up with a serious racing heart and hard to breathe. And I couldn't blame myself entirely. I mean, I'm older and I have preconditions. I have been collecting a lot of toxins, but this pollution was something else. And my best remedy was get out of there, get out of the region. I went to the hospital. It felt good until 5 a.m. Then the air swirled again, and I got problems, and so I had to leave there. And that's where I ended up in Red Lake, the Army Corps of Engineers project out there with the dam. And apparently they rent out spots for these oil pumps too. So there's a lot of pollution concentrated in the south central Illinois, and they're doing pretty good financially. There's businesses supporting the oil wells. There's oil well services and all of that, so that they're able to bring in money, but there's a lot of pollution. And if you look at cities outside of this region, I don't know what this oil region is called, but if you look at like Cairo, southern tip of Illinois, this city is falling apart. There's wrecked buildings, every other building. They're selling houses for $800. So you see signs that say this house is for sale for $800. They're just trying to offload these houses in Cairo. But then you come east and north from Cairo, and you see these oil pumps. There's no oil pumps around Cairo. Okay, so that oil, the oil region stops somewhere between here, that I know, here and Cairo for sure. They're not in Chester. I didn't see any in Chester, or even Carbondale. I don't recall noticing any oil in Carbondale. So traveling through Illinois, this is a surprise, and it's not been a pleasant one because of the trucks. Well, just say in Benton, where I was staying that the second night, those trucks, the airport, the oil, and then regular cars on top of that, just all the driving activity going on. I can't breathe very well. I'm having difficulty. I'm more tired. I'm waking up with a panic. And then plus, north of Mount Vernon, even Centralville, just the whole northern region of Illinois, as I was coming down, people just burn things for no reason. They burn trash. They burn wood. There's plenty of wood to burn. There's a lot of fuel for these people to burn. I guess that's what contributes to the oil. But all throughout here in this region, it's lush. I mean, this used to be mostly flooded, and then well, I say the pioneers figured out ways to drain the flooding, but people are saying it was the Indians who drained the flooded areas. Who takes the most credit? I don't know. This is historical arguments, but it's a lot of people who are not very considerate of their neighbors. All right, I'm in the outdoors exposed to this all the time. And I want to just say too, last night I noticed a propane smell for like 20 minutes, just standing around, just not far from here. There's this propane smell that just came into my senses for about 20-30 seconds or so, and then went away. And that got me concerned. I felt a little anxiety from smelling the propane smell. It's not deadly, but there's wafts of fuel and burnt trash and all kinds of burning. That I smell the oil. There's just all kinds of this. And I don't know, these people think that all these trees are the solution. Just plant a bunch of trees because they grow so well around here. That's going to cover up everything. I'm not sure if that's a great idea. So I'm having a lot of difficulty with this region, more than I've ever had in my life. And it's so strange to me because I've been through the oil fields of Texas and Oklahoma. I've seen the oil fields in North Dakota. And I didn't really have these breathing problems that I do. And I think it's just the access to more wood. In Louisiana, I didn't notice any breathing problems either. It's really a unique setup here. They have their own regulations. They have their own customs and culture, ways of doing things here. And they just seem to be a little bit more inconsiderate of the environmental pollutions. So I mean, I guess this is my warning to everybody that if you're feeling sick in South Central Illinois, that it's likely not you. It's the air pollution because of the type of activity that they have going on here. So that's my warning. It's warning to myself. I got to get out of this area to find a fresher area. The water seems to taste good, but now I'm questioning if the water could be tainted as well. The air is definitely tainted in this region from all of the just the smog. It's not even a metropolis, but there are a lot of sizable cities spread out in this area. They're not far spread out. They're separate from each other, but there's sizable cities in this area. And I thought it looked cute at first. I thought it looked like fun to be able to bop around from city to city. But I'm seeing the types of problems that they're having with air pollution, and it's just not worth. And it's strange. Get closer to the Mississippi River, and you see these river cities just falling apart. But that's just not the case in these oil regions where oil is being produced. And apparently, I was told, and I see that there's historical pictures and stuff in this city about coal. Coal was the big natural source of natural resources, and then now they switched to oil, like a liquefied coal. But coal is pretty polluting itself, so maybe there's coal burning going on from what they have, because I've been told by the Army Corps of Engineers representative and then that was at Red Lake, that there's still plenty of coal to be harvested, but maybe it's a political thing that it's not harvested so much, and it's more politically acceptable to harvest oil. But the whole oil harvesting is really difficult. I mean, this is just going off of my feelings, and I just I would have to look at statistics medically. What are the hospital medical statistics saying about this? Oh, it's strong smell right here, and it's a runoff. It's like a dirt. It's mixed. The oil is mixed in to a dirt. He's just letting it run off wherever. I guess it's not a lot because they don't seem to be trying to contain it at all. So I don't know what the cleaning standards of this is. The vegetation seems okay, I guess, but the air is something. I believe this guy turned on the oil pump with just this handle. There's no lock on it. Anybody could walk up to it, and I mean, I just step over the fence and I could turn this thing off if I wanted to, by the way it looks. I won't, but it looks like that's all you have to do is pull that handle to get it started. There might be more to that. Maybe it's got a button to press. But yeah, this whole system has been in this large region. Maybe the Army Corps of Engineers guy said something about 50 mile radius. So I'm thinking maybe he's right. Maybe he was onto something. There's this region that's just not healthy to be breathing, but people are living around it. So I mean, you know, I guess I gotta blame myself and ask, how are these other people doing so well and I'm struggling?